Namaste, my name is Aarsi and welcome to Aarsi's Kitchen. To celebrate love, in my kitchen, I am making these beautiful aromatic and moist rose cakes, and I'm going to show you how you can make them yourself. To make the cake, we would need 14 tablespoons of powdered sugar. I have divided that into 2 equal parts. 1/4 of a cup of vegetable oil. 3 eggs which have been separated. 6 tablespoons of tap water. Crushed seeds from 1 cardamom pod. A pinch of table salt. 1½ teaspoon of baking powder. And a cup of cake flour. We will now put together all these ingredients to make the cake. We will start by sifting together the flour, salt, baking powder, and the sugar. Once the flour is sifted, blend the egg yolks using a paddle attachment and do this on a very low speed. Start adding the water now and make sure you add the water very slowly to create an emulsion. Now once the water is all combined with the egg yolks, add the oil again very slowly. This is perfectly combined now and it's ready for the flour. To add the flour, turn on your mixer on slow speed. And I'm going to put a little cap on to make sure the flour doesn't come on the face. And then slowly start adding the flour in small batches. You want to add the second batch once you feel that the previous one has combined. I'm going to scrape the sides, make sure everything is nicely combined. Once this is combined, add the cardamom and mix it for another 10 to 15 seconds. This looks ready, and now I'm going to start working on the egg whites. In the mixer bowl, I've added the egg whites and I'm using a whisk attachment this time. I'm going to start whipping the egg whites on medium speed. When they become a little frothy, start adding the 7 tablespoons of sugar, but make sure you add it in several batches and very slowly. You want to whisk the egg whites until they triple in volume and form soft peaks. See how this has formed soft peaks? It's ready now and you want to stop beating them. Once you have your egg whites ready and your egg yolk batter ready, start adding the egg whites very slowly to the egg yolk batter. Do that in 3 batches. You want to make sure that you're not over mixing the batter, and this looks perfectly ready to go onto the baking sheet. I have here a 12 by 16 baking sheet which has been coated with cooking spray and dusted with all-purpose flour. I'm going to now pour the batter into the sheet. Spread it out a little bit just to make it even. This is ready to go on the top rack of a preheated oven at 325 degrees, and you want to bake it for 10 to 15 minutes or until the cake tester comes out clean. My cake is done and it's out of the oven. I have placed it on a cooling rack and I will let it come to room temperature. The cake has completely cooled and I'm going to use a cookie cutter to cut circles out of this cake. So just gently press the cutter, twist it, and you have a beautiful cake circle. Just set it aside. To make the rose whipped cream frosting, we would need a cup of heavy whipping cream, 1.5 tablespoons of edible rose water, 7 tablespoons of powdered sugar, and pink food color. To make the frosting, start by adding the whipping cream to your mixer bowl. Using a whisk attachment, start whisking the whipping cream on medium speed. Once the whipping cream becomes a little frothy, start adding the 7 tablespoons of sugar, but make sure you add it slowly and gradually. Once the sugar is well combined, I'm going to add the food coloring with the help of a toothpick. And then start whipping it again until it becomes triple in size. Once you have achieved a beautiful rose pink color, add the rose water. And whip this until it triples in volume and achieves peaks. The peaks have formed and the frosting is ready. I have here a glass which is lined with a Ziploc bag. I'm going to add the frosting to this bag. Take the bag out of the glass. Seal it to remove the air. Push the frosting to one corner. And set it aside. Once you have your cake circles ready and your frosting ready, it's time to decorate them. I'm using this little transparent bowl. Go ahead and add one cake circle to this bowl. Gently push it to the bottom. To use the piping bag, just snip a little corner. And swirl it all around the cake. You want to make sure that all the sides are completely covered. Then take another slice and gently press it on top of the frosting and swirl again. That looks beautiful. I'm going to garnish it with few pistachios. And some edible rose petals. I'm going to decorate the rest of the bowls the same way. So take a cake circle, gently place it in the bowl, swirl the icing, take another circle and place it on top of the icing. And swirl the icing again. Garnish it with pistachios and rose petals. These beautiful aromatic cakes are ready to be enjoyed on any romantic night with your loved ones. It's creamy, it's moist, and you get the little crunch from the pistachios. Thank you for watching. Bye.